Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to the Champions League and the clash here between Barca and Bayern, which is expected to be played out in front of a packed crowd at the Camp Nou, still in a vibrant atmosphere, even despite our situation in the Champions League remaining perilous. Because after defeat to Bayern themselves in matchday 2, followed up there by failing to beat Inter in matchday 3 and 4, we enter matchday 5 on the brink of elimination at the group stage once again. Now we're going to be talking all about our situation, all about the permutations and the scenarios that await us heading into this match. But we are also going to be making the point that no matter what happens elsewhere, this game right here, it still matters. Make no mistake. And if you stick around for the full preview today, there might just be a giveaway coming your way. There's a pack video to come, so sit back, try and relax if you can, and let's do this. Because today's big match preview is coming to you courtesy of the OneFootball app, which is the place to stay firmly up to date with all of the latest Barca news and indeed all things Champions League as we do now enter the business end of the group stage. And of course, OneFootball as well is your home of La Liga content. If you're in the UK, you can stream highlights directly in-app straight after the matches are over, and you can catch up with all of that good stuff and plenty more as well by downloading the app using the link in the description below, as Barca will be bidding to carry over their good league form into this competition here. However, coming into this game, guys, we are under no illusions. This is our situation. Barca, after 4 matches, are third in Group C, behind Bayern on 12 points, behind Inter on 7 points, and Barca have just 1 win so far from our 4 games. And crucially, Inter's game against Viktoria Plzen is the early kickoff. So before we even step out onto the field against Bayern, we will know if our Champions League hopes remain alive. Because indeed, when you are looking at the permutations, it is very simple when it comes to Inter against Viktoria Plzen, because if Inter beat them before our game against Bayern, we're done. We are knocked out of the Champions League group stage there, with Bayern and Inter progressing no matter what happens in Barca against Bayern. But if Inter were to draw against Viktoria Plzen, then there is still a chance if Barca are to beat Bayern. So if Inter drop points there against Plzen, Barca must respond by beating Bayern and taking Group C to the final match day overall. But if Inter were to lose against Plzen, Barca could even still qualify with a draw against Bayern by beating Viktoria Plzen in the final match day, providing Bayern also beat Inter. And I'm really glad there that all of that wasn't complicated in the slightest. But speaking then about Inter versus Plzen, first of all, what can we expect? Is there any chance at all that Viktoria Plzen could pull off a shock, that there could be a miracle in Milan? Well, honestly, guys, it is highly unlikely. Plzen so far have no points in the Champions League. They have conceded 16 goals in their 4 group games. And make no mistake whatsoever here, it's a massive ask that Plzen could get anything from this game. Now, would you call it impossible? I don't think you would, because in football that's a word that you don't really use. Anything can happen. Crazier things have happened in the past. And you know what? They could happen again. Inter conceded 3 goals at the weekend. They did score 4 in reply. Plzen did score 2 against Bayern in their previous Champions League game, but again, they did concede 4. So I think going into this game, our expectations, they're quite low in terms of what Plzen can produce. I don't appreciate the fact here that we're having to rely on other teams, and I just hope really that Plzen can frustrate them for as long as they possibly can. Just long enough there for maybe Inter, the crowd inside the San Siro, to get a little bit nervous, and let's just see what ends up happening. However, here's the thing, guys, because regardless for me of what happens in Milan, even if Inter do indeed secure their place in the knockout stage before our game even starts, I just want to stress here that I really want to win this game against Bayern. Because look, if Inter win before kickoff, it will be said, there's nothing on the line for Barca, there's nothing to play for, it's a pointless game, all of this stuff. But no matter what happens, I want us to go out there on Wednesday night against Bayern Munich and show what we can do. I want us to stand up in front of our own fans in a game like this and show we can win. We can compete. Because honestly, I think back a lot to the reverse fixture against Bayern back in September, match day 2. It was early days in the group. It was all to play for. And we were so close. We did compete. We did show what we could do. At our best, with our full squad available, we were right there in that game. And of course, we went on to lose it. And plenty of difficult moments have followed on from that Champions League game. But that is why now we still have a responsibility, no matter what happens, to take this game seriously. We have the responsibility to at least answer some questions, to at least put to bed some of the demons. Let's go into this game and show the world we can win. Now, when it comes to our opponents on the night, Bayern Munich, we are all very much aware of their pedigree, and since the international break, they themselves have been in imperious form. They have been very, very impressive. 27 goals in 7 matches for them. They've won every single one of them, with the exception of a last-minute equaliser there from Dortmund in Der Klassiker. They continue to hunt down the top spot in the Bundesliga, and they are looking very, very impressive. But they do have a few injury problems ahead of this game. Looking here at the potential lineup coming from Nagelsmann's team, Manuel Neuer is not going to be playing, so Bayern they're playing with the backup goalkeeper Ulrich in this one. It's likely to be Benjamin Pavard along the back line. That could also be Mazraoui, depending on what Nagelsmann does. Upamecano and De Ligt at centre-back, because there is no Lucas Hernandez, who scored in the reverse game against Barca. Alphonso Davies will likely be at left-back, with Kimmich and Goretzka in midfield, who's been doing a little bit of talking before this game about Robert Lewandowski. In the attacking positions, it is likely to be there Kingsley Coman on the right-hand side. Musiala could play in a central position if Thomas Müller doesn't return to the team. He only got back into training today, so he might not be risked against Barca. Serge Gnabry might be on the left-hand side because there is no Leroy Sané, with Sadio Mane leading the line for Bayern. When it comes, though, to Barca, as we know, it has been a direct contrast of what Bayern have been doing since the international break. We had a nightmare return to action, not helped, of course, by the crushing injury blows that we suffered during that international break, but we have seen a response over the past week. In the last 2 games, Barca have shown signs of improvement. Their wins over Villarreal and Athletic, both of those coming at home, just like this game. And I think the key now for Xavi is, again, we're talking about following up wins. We're talking about building momentum and making sure that we do continue now what we have been building, because that would really back up what we've been showing. A win in a game like this against an opponent like this, that would kind of show us where we are. And I think that's why Xavi's team selection here, it is going to be so important. I'm really, really fascinated to see, number one, what Xavi has learned over the past month or so. What is he going to change from what we saw? Maybe not from the reverse fixture against Bayern, but what are we going to see differently from the games that Barca played against Inter? That is going to be really fascinating to see. And what can we expect in the lineups? Now today, guys, I'm going to give you 2 separate lineups. This first one here is going to be my personal opinion and what I would like to see against Bayern. The second one is going to be more to what I think Xavi will do. So mine personally would be Ter Stegen in goal, Bayer in there replacing Roberto at right back, Koundé and Eric Garcia along the back line, and Alejandro Balde, for me, must start in this game. Because why not? What an opportunity here for him, given the situation that we are in, given that this game might not have as much pressure on it as usual. This is a great chance for him to experience a match like this, and especially after his display against Athletic Club. In midfield, I would like to see again Frankie given trust, given responsibility as the lone pivot, Xavi and then Pedri in a midfield trio, because in attack, I would like to see 3 forwards. I would like to see Lewandowski. Of course, you've got Dembele after his performance in the last game. And I would like to see Ansu Fati from the beginning of this match starting on the left. However, This is why we have two lineups today, because I think Xavi will do a lot of the same things that I've spoken about there. I think there will be Bayern Koundé and most likely Eric Garcia along the back line, but I think at left back, I still doubt whether he'll play Balde. I think we haven't seen it in the Champions League so far. The trust hasn't been in the youngster in this competition, and I think possibly again it could be Alba, but maybe Xavi might opt again for Alonso, as he did in the reverse fixture. I think in midfield, we might actually see the four in midfield system that we saw against Athletic Club. I think Busquets will start the game, most likely there alongside De Jong, which means it's going to be Pedri on the left-hand side again. Xavi, okay to start in the middle, with Dembele and Lewandowski completing the lineup, which if that was the case, would again leave Ansu Fati on the bench in this match. And I do just wonder there, and I would like you guys to get involved in the comments down below. What do you think Xavi will do? And what would you like Xavi to do in this game? Do you want to see the four midfielders again? Do you think that's what he'll do? Please do let me know those thoughts on the lineup in the comments. And if we do look here at your pre-match predictions heading into this game, guys, and it's safe to say, plenty of faith in Barca. I think given the last two games that we've seen, the promising signs, the changes from Xavi, there is optimism that we could stand up in this game, that we could show what we are about. But of course there has to be an understanding too of the kind of team that we're up against. Plenty of people saying too that Bayern are fully capable of winning this game, which we know that they are, and that is what we have to be wary of. And I would just like to add just a little extra incentive in this particular game, because I want to take you back to this messy moment against Bayern. Back in 2015, Champions League semi-final, that goal against Manuel Neuer. Because if Barca beat Bayern on Wednesday night, I am going to be giving away 5 of these Messi goal versus Bayern cards. And in order to be entered into that draw, what you have to do is go ahead and follow my cards account there over on Instagram, TalkFCB cards. Follow it there. And number 2, there will be a giveaway post showing the Messi cards. And all you've got to do there is go ahead and like the post. That's all you've got to do to be entered there. And if Barca beat Bayern, 5 lucky winners, and there will be more giveaways and little things to come as well. And if we can get that special result against Bayern, I'll be announcing the winners in Thursday's video on the channel. So that's all there for you guys to get involved with. And all that I hope is right now is that we go into this game, no matter what happens, no matter what has happened, let's perform. Let's show what we can do, even if it is just to prove to ourselves that we can do it. Please leave all of your predictions in the comments down below, guys. Thank you indeed for getting involved for this game. And if you are going to be entering there into the giveaway, I wish you all the best of luck. And let's hope Barca can deliver this win. I will see you after the game for all of the reaction. Let's hope maybe for a Plzen miracle. But until next time, guys, as always, Visca El Barça!